And we are live at 11:05. And since I've been working on this one, putting doors and showed everybody that, I thought I might as well show you how to put a bed on. And we'll have all that done. And Josh, you can convert this to YouTube stuff, and we can put it on the website on the shopping cart. So if you buy a bed and you buy one of our bodies and you want to install it, this is pretty much how you do it. Now, if you can see up in here, can you see down up in there, we've got these metal bars that are attached to our frame. You can kind of see it comes out past. One of the main things you want to be concerned, well, there's a couple of things you want to be concerned about, but you want the bottom of your bed to be parallel with the bottom of your body. If you don't have it parallel, I mean, it's going to be up, of course, but if it's angled up or down, it's going to look like it's angled up or down. So that we don't want. So I've got these welded on. If you're going to do this at home, this is our frame jig, which is just a replica. It was built off of our jig table, our frame jig table. It's just stubbed off in the front. We don't have the front of it, and we put wheels on it. But the back of this is the same as what the frame would be if you bought it from us. So the way you can do it is take and put your body, go ahead and put it on your frame, and if you put the insert and everything in yourself, you know, you drill the holes up through the bottom. You can put your body bolts and all that in it. Make sure it's back. It basically almost touches the back of the kick-up where the body goes. Pull it back, straighten it out, make sure the distances are all the same on the bottom. You can kind of measure up under the frame, you know, whatever, 3 3/4. Make sure the other side's about 3 3/4 is all squared up on there. You can actually just take a piece of wood, and this is sitting, the bottom of this is sitting below the bottom of the frame on the kick-up side by about, I would say an inch. So if you just took a 1x piece of wood, 1x6, clamped it to the bottom of your frame, you could go ahead and sit this bed on top of that, and that gets you level. Get you level here, get you level here, everything's good, level. The bed itself is going to become, and it's going to have kind of a contour in it here on both sides. And if you just took the bed and just kind of stuck it there, it's going to be close to where it goes. Just kind of eyeballing, it's going to be close. You may need to trim just a little bit out of, you know, an area. Just kind of do that. The key is you want the bed square on the frame on top here. So if you take your tape measure, kind of look down in here a little bit. I'll measure here, 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 I'll measure here. Now remember, if you move it this way, the body's curved, it's going to move out. It'll give you more room there, but you're going to get a little more, be wider here and narrower here. So you want it, flex it back and forth. Like I said, you may need to trim it just a little bit on one of the corners. Get it all fitted, square. I always stand back. If I stand back and look at it like this, looking down the side of the car, there's a body line here, body line here, body line here, body line here. If you just kind of eyeball all those lines that are straight, just kind of get it so it's all equal. Make sure you're good there. So I've got it all lined up. I sanded my body. I just used 40 grit on the DA. I sanded my body before I even put this up here. I sanded the inside of my bed before I put it up there. Once I got it all together, you see all I did was tape it on with some 2-inch tape. And you can kind of see by just the way the tape is here, it's got a pretty clean body line. So you're not going to have too much finish work out here. But the main thing, I want to get the amazing glue goop. What is this stuff called? It's not Polybond anymore, it's some kind of, we'll call it glue goop. So I'll put that, and I'll fill that in this area. And get it smoothed in, and it's going to stick that bed on there. Once this is on, I'll let it dry. I can go ahead and take and grind this out where it attaches here, just to make sure I've got no air gap in there or anything right on the edge. And then I can put a little bit more. I can put a little strip of fiberglass on it to help hold it. And this stuff is the greatest. I mean, do we sell it about a gallon?
I can, yeah.
How much is this stuff a gallon?
I don't know.
we buy it in bigger quantities. We probably sell it by the quart or whatever. But it's one of those deals where we'll have to make special arrangements for you to get it. But it's a great product. I don't think it's almost like a vet panel adhesive. If you go to a body shop supply, mix it up. Now, vet panel adhesive would be extremely expensive if we used that. It would almost be unaffordable, but I wouldn't doubt what it's the same product, and we just buy it in 5-gallon pails. When you mix this up, this red, again, we've talked about this many times, is methyl ethyl ketone peroxide, the same stuff that activates polyester resin, and polyester resin is what holds the fiberglass together when you're doing fiberglass work. This chemical will burn you. I mean, it will burn you. Be very careful. I should probably be wearing eyeglasses. And probably one of the bigger hazards is when you fill it, I put a little hole in the middle of it and put the stuff there. If you just fold it over and smash it in there, there is a good chance that stuff's going to squirt out of there and go all over the place. So when you're first mixing it in, get it mixed in pretty good, and then you can go ahead and do your serious mix and just knead it all together. Make sure, since it's got the dye in it, that you've got the color thoroughly mixed through it. You can see it sort of turning pink, but it's still pink and gray in a lot of areas. It's got to be thoroughly mixed. Otherwise, you're going to have wet spots in the glue goop. We don't want any wet spots in the glue goop because it won't dry. It won't be hard. It won't stick to nothing. It'll be sticky, but it won't stick to nothing. And pretty close. Make sure it's thoroughly mixed. I'm liking what I see here, and I'm going to blob it on the car. And here is going to be the tip of the day. Hopefully I brought it over here. I just took a Bondo spreader and taped it around, and I got that shape, so I could do that with this Bondo spreader if I taped it all the way around. I'll show you how I'm going to use that here in a little bit, but it will help you do a much cleaner job. So I'll just smash the goop in. Get it smashed in as far as you can get it. Don't push so hard that you push the tape off, but you want to definitely fill the gap, fill the void in there. And the last thing you want is for your bed to crack. This is a very good product as far as when it comes to gluing it together. But if there's air voids, and if this wasn't sanded, or I mean, it could break loose, but I have tested this. I've glued 2 pieces of fiberglass together end to end with a product like this to see exactly how well it held and trying to break it apart. I mean, I literally broke a lot of the fiberglass off before it just didn't snap the product off. It bonded pretty well to the fiberglass. So I got a pretty good pile of goop in there. But even though this isn't seen, this will get a bed cover or what have you, I like to keep it clean here. I mean, that's what really makes a car. If you're going to show it, it's the details that you really have to look for to make the car clean. When you work with this, you got quite a bit of time. You've got about 10-15 minutes of real work time. So you can see I get that clean there, I can pull this out on the sides here and clean it coming out this way. This stuff stands about like Bondo. On the Spirit car, there's a body line that goes all the way down. If you keep it clean into that body line, it's a lot easier and cleaner. And then you can sand on that side of the body line, keep it clean, you can prime it. Whenever we do the car, we'll go ahead and we paint the floors and all that in the car. So when we flip it over, I'll go ahead and paint all the way up into here. So when I turn the car back over, I've got it painted up into this area, and then I can just blend back down into it, and I got a good coverage and get all that painted. Again, since I got about a 15-minute work time, you don't need to watch me smooth this out clean or smooth that side out, but you get the idea. I'll go over this a couple more times, and you know, hundreds of hours of doing this, and probably thousands and maybe, who knows, tens of thousands of gallons of Bondo over the course of 50, 60, 40 years, whatever, how many years I've been doing it. You can get pretty good at spreading, but the cleaner it is before you have to sand, the smoother it is. I mean, the less you have to sand, the better. You save on sandpaper, you save on time. So I'll try to get this as smooth as I possibly can get it. And there is a point where just stop. I mean, you can only get it so good. It's easy to get it trapped that, okay, one more swipe, but then it doesn't work that way. It only gets so good, then just walk away from it and you're good to go. So a quick one today, but since we're doing the bed, I figured, okay, it's time we show you how to install a bed. We can, again, upload this onto the website, so it's be instructional. And so for this week so far, we've been pretty instructional, hands-on instructional. I think tomorrow we'll go to, we got some projects that we've been pushing ahead, and we'll show you a couple of them other projects. Today's what, Wednesday?
Wednesday.
So we got Thursday and Friday, and we installed our new lift. We're pretty. All right, here we go. Ernie, the Hot Rod Man, wrote him a couple of books, Coffee Break Contemplations, and what was the other one?
Pass It On.
So they're on Amazon if you want to buy them. So I just kind of read these out, and people who set out to make a lot of money in order to acquire happiness and peace of mind eventually find that those things are not for sale. They come free with wisdom. I like that one. So, have a good day. Let's look for some happiness and peace. And it doesn't take a lot of money to do that. We just enjoy the small things. So we'll see you tomorrow.